Mr President, our dream of a European Turkey has turned into a nightmare, and it is time for a wake-up call. I was among those critical friends of Turkey that argued that an ongoing membership process helps reforms, but reality suggests the opposite. Last weekend's arrest of journalists are part of a trend of government-led breaches of fundamental freedoms and the rule of law in Turkey. Only a week after a high-level EU delegation visited Ankara, relations have now hit another low point. There was reason for concern before. After corruption allegations included Erdogan, then Prime Minister, now President, and key members of his cabinet, hundreds of police officers and prosecutors were relocated and threatened with prosecution. Those threats have now materialized and also turned to journalists, while Turkey already had the global record of imprisoned journalists. Now, the obvious question is why the EU would act firm only now. Comes down to our fears of Turkey sliding ever further away from democracy in the case the negotiations would stop. Yet, too many watershed moments have passed without serious criticism from Europe, from the banning of an unpublished book by Ahmed Şık to mass arrests and trials without due process. And the witch hunt of Gülen supporters is only the latest in a long list of rule of law violations. And members of the Fethullah Gülen Hizmet movement and the AKP have created monsters together by helping each other in a coalition that long turned against everything on their combined path. Now they turn against each other, leading to even more violations of the rule of law. Today there are masses of people in Turkey who live in fear for their future. Women, academics, artists, business leaders, and frankly anyone who's critical of the government. Losing a job or a license, receiving a tax fine, or even being prosecuted for attempting to overthrow the government have become common tools to punish opponents, while laws were passed placing members of the security establishment and government officials above those laws. It is time to tell the AKP government that it's not business as usual. Europe has to show that there's an end to the violations of the rule of law.